Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman and I'm here to share with you a collection of products that debuted in the 2022 January through June mini catalog and the 2022 January through February celebration brochure. They're cheerful products that are all in a collection, but they're not part of a suite. They just coordinate really well together. It includes the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set and the Brilliant Rainbow dies. These can come as a bundle where you save 10% when you purchase them together. You can also get the Cloud Punch and then the Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper, a pack of 48 6x6 size sheets you can earn as a free celebration pick with a $50 order. If you're referring to the publications, you can find the bundle, which includes the stamp set and the dies, on page 18 of the mini catalog. You can also find the Cloud Punch on page 19 of the mini catalog. And then the samples are even more in the celebration brochure, and you can find the samples and the product for the Sunshine and Rainbow 6x6 designer paper on pages 8 and 9. Let's take a closer look at the Brilliant Rainbow dies. You get a set of 8 dies. This one it looks like it's 2 separate dies, but it's actually 2 clouds that are connected. So that's considered one die. And then you've got a couple other small cloud dies, and they can cut these images out of cardstock. You've got a unique die here that cuts only on the bottom and not along the top. So you could have a strip or a banner or something that just has a scallop edge on it, and you can create the length or the width that you'd like on that. Then you've also got a die that is sort of a focal point to a project. When you die cut it, you get this piece here with like a rectangle with a rainbow arch connected to it. You've got this large rainbow, and it cuts out separate strips. And then you've got this other one here that's kind of a medium size that cuts out smaller strips. And you can see 2 examples here. Then you've also got this edge here, which cuts just like the scallop one here, just along one side and not the other side. So if I take and I separate these pieces out here, you can see how that cut just along this edge of the black cardstock here. You can also see that with a couple of these dies, you can create windows if you'd like, or you can take the pieces from those spaces that were cut out and create those rainbows. Let's take a closer look at the stamp set. You can see it's a set of 14 stamps. It's photopolymer, so you can see through to where you're stamping. You have 5 sentiments on here, and some of them have shapes, so you can fit them within or underneath the arches of the rainbow. You've got some background little images here, raindrops, hearts, little dots, and then this piece here, or this image here, could be maybe the ground, or turned this way, it could be rain falling a little bit faster. And then you've got, of course, the arches of the rainbow, and you can build different types of rainbows in any color combination you'd like. Now let's take a closer look at the designer paper that you can earn for free with a $50 order. Again, it's Sunshine and Rainbows 6x6. You get 48 sheets, 4 of 12 different designs, and each of those designs are double-sided. A lot of the designs have sort of a child drawn look to them. Very fun, very innocent, very, cheerful, right? Lots of fun images there, right? And then you get, of course, lots of colors within these papers. Let me just name off some of the colors. You get Bermuda Bay, Flirty Flamingo, Granny Apple Green, Magenta Madness, Mango Melody, Misty Moonlight, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Soft Sea Foam, and So Saffron are the colors that are included. And you can see some of the patterns are bold and bright. Some of them are very subtle, monochromatic, and then some are multicolored. Then you've also got patterns within some of the papers. This one's very subtle, and this one's very bold and bright. You could even use this sheet here during Valentine's Day or for a wedding card. Then you've got a couple papers that when die cut or punched, you can get some instant designs. So this one here cuts out obviously with the Cloud Punch. This die here can create a bunch of rainbows for you instantly. I've got several samples to show you now that I've made with these products. This one is using the stamp set and some additional items. The stamp set alone. I don't have the dies in here, I don't have the punch, and I don't have the paper. I've stamped the arches of the rainbow using Flirty Flamingo in full color, stamped off once, and stamped off 2 times, or first generation, second generation, third generation, if you've heard those terms before. The words are also stamped in Flirty Flamingo, and you can see this gold arch here. I did that by embossing with heat and stick powder, and then putting on some of the gilded leafing to get that gold arch. These little guys here are a new product. They are brushed brass butterflies. They have a very low profile, so they're easy to place on a card. And then you've got the beautiful coordinating Flirty Flamingo metallic ribbon stuck on with a glue dot. And it's all on the base of an Abstract Beauty card from the Cards and Envelope pack, which is also a new product that you can get. But I just thought that that blue sky in the background was so fitting for a rainbow. I made a second rainbow in the same fashion because I wasn't sure if it was going to turn out the first time, so I did multiples. And this time I placed it on the background of Beauty of the Earth designer paper. I've got a 4x4 piece here. You can see it's a unique type of fold card already, the way everything arches up. We've got that fun border die at the top. We've got some of those brass butterflies again, more of that metallic ribbon. And when you open up the card, it actually becomes an easel card that can either sit against a gift card, which is in the pocket, or if the gift card is removed, the pocket still sits up enough where you can still have it sit as an easel card. And there's another additional butterfly on the inside, so cute. This piece here is 2x4, so altogether you've used up 1/6 of the paper. 4x4 plus 2x4 gives you a 6x4 piece. Very fun, just a fun way to give a little gift card to someone. I was looking on Pinterest for lots of ideas using this bundle and came across this card, the one that Mary Fish designed. I almost copied hers completely. I did my embellishing a little bit differently and this little strip here, but oh my gosh, what a beautiful card she had made. And so what you do is you die cut into a 4x5¼ piece of basic white, and then you separately die cut some rainbow pieces. Now I recommend die cutting 4 of the blue, 4 of the green, 4 of the yellow, 4 of the red, and if you're okay with your rainbow being a slightly different order of colors, you can then have 4 different rainbows and create 4 cards from die cutting 4 times. Then you've got these fun little clouds, and they're set up on dimensionals at different levels. This one obviously has a little thank you stamped inside of it, which, because this is a photopolymer stamp set, you can stamp that after you have die cut. These pieces here come from an embellishment that you can find on that same spread in the catalog. It's called the Sparkle and Shine Sequin Assortment. And you think it's just flat sequins, but there are these fun little tiny rounded acrylic shapes that look like droplets of water that you can glue on. So this is from that pack, but these are also from that pack of sequins. I've embossed in white embossing powder on a black strip and just put it across the top. And I was so inspired by Mary's card that I made another version using Pool Party instead of basic white as my background paper. This layer here though, I did emboss, and I used the Stripes and Splatters 3D embossing folders. This one right here that makes the fun little splatters. You can see the Sparkle and Shine Sequins assortment a little bit better against the black paper here. And these are the fun little ones that look like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. They look like little water droplets. There are many embellishments that will give you that raindrop look, but this one especially, this is from the annual catalog. This is the Silver and Clear Epoxy Essentials pack of embellishments. And the reason why I say this one will really give you that look, because they actually have a little droplet shape to them on this silver sheet and on this clear sheet. You also get triangles, and you get kind of a circular shape that could look like the aerial view of a water droplet after it has landed on something. And so I want to show you this card next. This one was done as a gifted card to me from Leslie Francis, who is a demonstrator in my group. And you can see that she used those clear ones over the top of the sunshine and on a couple of the raindrops here. She's also used the cloud punch, the dies, the stamp set with the word thank you here. We've got that denim ribbon that has come back. And then look at the inside too, how cheerful. She got this little border here from one set of dies called the Basic Borders dies. You can find those also in the annual catalog. So if you're looking for even more coordinating products, that is a good one to grab up. This next sample uses those clear epoxy essential pieces along with the designer paper that you can earn. Here's more of that designer paper that I die cut with the coordinating dies. And then I've got these fun clouds that I have die cut and punched from the Supple Shimmer 12 by 12 specialty paper that is also new in the catalog. Here's my 3D project. I was playing around with a product that carried over from the July through December 2021 catalog. This is the Pretty Pillow Box dies. And instead of having this at the top and be the opening of the pillow box, I thought it looked like a cloud. And so I sealed that down with adhesive and made these parts of the box open up to fit your candy or treat inside. So on page 5, there's a card that I absolutely loved, and I needed to case it. I had to make my own version of it. It's featuring the new iridescent rhinestones. It's got some beautiful colors in there: polished pink, flirty flamingo, fresh freesia. We've got the vellum cardstock in there, punched with the cloud punch. And then this paper, they say in the directions it's supposed to be the pattern party paper, which is that host paper from the annual catalog, but you could use the abstract beauty paper. There is a sheet, and that's what I used here. There is a sheet that has that same type of little pattern in it. With a blending brush tool, your ink, the cloud punched out as a stencil against some white cardstock, you can create a card that looks like this. So I've used that cloud and done the color outside the edges to create that blue sky and for the white clouds to pop. This sunshine is actually from the stamps in the set. So instead of a rainbow, you can take this image here and this image here and create your sunshine. So I've got Daffodil Delight ink there. And then I've got a couple little punches here. I took and stamped just part of the You Make and then the other part underneath to fit it inside a punched out cloud. I've also got some iridescent rhinestones on there to give it a little bit of sparkle. So there's another idea. Sometimes to think outside the box, you need to turn your stamps in different directions. Now that You Make Me Happy phrase in there made me think of smiles. So I took the Cactus Builder punch and I punched it twice in basic white and twice in basic black to come up with some eyeballs for my fun smiley face card. The whites on the inside of the eyes are from the classic matte dots. And then this little shimmery paper back here is the ombre specialty paper. It's the yellow sheet. We have slimline envelopes now, so I thought it'd be fun to make a slimline shaped card. And for this card, I have a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. The rainbow was created with the rainbow glimmer paper. I've also got gold coins done with the gold foil sheets and with the gilded gems. And then this fun little sentiment down here obviously was from the stamp set. And what I did is I just took and inked up just a portion, stamped it down, cleaned it off, inked up another portion. I used the classic Stampin' Write markers for that. For the pot, I used the elegant tag punch. And you can see here that I only used one side. I used this side here. I used a piece of black cardstock that was first cut to 1 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And then I just opened up the punch and stuck one end in, punched it, and then stuck the other end in and punched it. And that's how I created that fun pot. To get the gold for the coins, I used this die here from that bundle and just cut a few of them, three in fact, and layered them up and just stuck them underneath at the top. You can also create the gold inside the pot by using your cloud punch. So you'll punch in the direction that you normally think you'd punch to get one direction of gold coins. And then you'll flip your paper over and you'll punch again to get, when you flip it this way, to get the cloud going in the opposite direction. So that's how I created those pots of gold. This card base, by the way, is one of the cards from the Abstract Beauty Cards and Envelope pack. My last 5 cards all use the cloud punch and these 2 pieces of designer paper from the Sunshine and Rainbow pack. You can see I've punched out a bunch of clouds. I've also cut this into strips of rainbows, and you can create some quick and easy cards that look like this. This is the new mother of pearl paper. Oh my gosh, it is so pretty. So I've got some stripes that I cut out to have the rainbows coming down from the cloud. The sentiment, by the way, comes from a stamp set called Celebrating You. And after I did those cards, I thought I'm going to step it up a little bit. So these are kind of simple cards, but I decided to step it up a little bit and bring in some of those iridescent rhinestones, some of the Pool Party sheer ribbon, and then I cut my card differently on the front. So it becomes kind of a fun fold card. So I've got a piece of Pool Party cardstock in there. And then I brought it to an even higher level. So now I brought back those embossing folders again and used the same one on the top flap of this. And instead of turning it into just a flap that folded up, I turned it into a Z-fold card so that you could see the inside and the outside at the same time. And because this is raised slightly on dimensionals, it can become an easel card. If you're seeing this video before January 25th as part of the 2022 January through June mini catalog virtual tour by our Tour of the Catalog crew, then be sure to ask your demonstrator how you can get the supply list and dimensions for this card and for other cards that are featured on the tour. So let me give you some tips for making this card. The punch can, of course, go in both directions depending on how when you flip it after you've punched it. You can see here that my cloud is going in this direction, but that makes it pretty tough to punch out, right? So if you want to, instead, you can take and first stamp, because it's a red rubber stamp. It's not the clear kind. So you can first stamp it and then punch out. Your cloud will be going in a slightly opposite direction, but that's okay. Or because clouds aren't perfect and you really don't have, a flat side of your cloud, you can stamp it and slightly tilt it just to make sure that the words are straight going across. The stripes and splatters embossing folders are skinny and can be used in our mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. But because we're going to be turning it in this direction, you'll need your larger one for this. After you've cut and scored your cardstock for your card base, you'll want to slip your embossing folder in like this and make sure that it goes right up to that edge. You can kind of fold your cardstock down to help you out. And then you'll layer your platforms. And normally we tell you to lead your card with this, the folded part of the folder in, but in this case you're going to have to rotate it this way in order for it to work. You'll just layer everything up. You'll make sure it's lined up, guide it through, and then you'll have that portion of your card embossed. The next step is to add your basic gray layers, and this is kind of an important step. You'll want to do your inside piece first, and you'll want to have it 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. I've placed it up on dimensionals. And then you'll be able to add your top gray layer so that it covers up the inside one. So you can place that Pool Party ribbon around the top where the embossed area is. I never glue my ribbon down, that way I can shift it back and forth if I need to. So now we can go ahead and keep the card closed, and we'll place our top gray layer on there. I use tear and tape for my top gray layer. It's just a strong adhesive and it'll hold on to that embossed layer up here a little bit better. It's got a little bit more grip to it. Then you can take your mother of pearl paper and layer it up with your designs. You'll do that for both the outside and the inside pieces. But I have a little tip for you before you cut your rainbow paper. So the rainbow paper, you can cut really at any width you want. After you've trimmed it from one long piece though, that is when you can cut it to the sizes that you need for your 2 layers. So you've got one piece here that will flow directly into the next piece, and you don't have to worry about the colors being at different points on the rainbow. And remember to have fun building your design. Use portions of those clouds in the corners, on the edges. Remember your embellishments and your glittery little tiny clouds that you die cut, and don't forget to trim your ribbon. And you'll have a fun easel card. I hope I've given you some inspiration for what you can do with these fun new rainbow themed products. If you have questions, please contact your demonstrator, and thank you for watching.